everyone. In this example, I'm going to go over quite a bit simpler capture, mark, release model. The last one didn't actually have mark, but this one does. And this actually ties in nicely with some just review of solving linear equations and some of the applications that result in solving linear equations. So this will come up in a little bit as well, aside from your graphing linear equations review that you're going to be working on. So in this case, instead of just capture and hold and capture and hold and capture and hold and see how your capture size is decreasing to try and predict the total population, we're going to see the biologist capturing squirrels and then tagging them and releasing them back into the population, and then recapturing after a little while to see how many of the squirrels they recapture have those tags. So we have a sample basically of 120 squirrels taken, and they all get marked. We won't say marked, tagged, capture, mark, release, but we're saying tagged in this one. And then they get released back into the population. And the idea is you release them, they're going to mix back in with the population. If you're able to go back out and get a somewhat random sample, the information of how many of the squirrels in your new sample have tags should help you kind of work backwards and predict how many squirrels there are total. So the biologist goes back out and captures another, so this is round one. Round two captures another 120 squirrels. And of those, that doesn't even look like squirrels. There we go. Of those, there are 51 with tags. So it's not that they're tagging 51, it's that 51 of them have tags. The idea here is going to be that if there are 51 tags in the sample of 120 squirrels, so this is for our sample, our second sample, that we should be able to use that ratio to tell us something about the population of squirrels. So over here, we want to make a ratio for the population, the entire population, all the squirrels in the area. Population. So what we want to know is we want to set this up so that we're doing the same sort of ratio. How many tags are in the entire population? And we happen to know that because that's what our first capture was all about. We put 120 tags out into the population, and the ratio of 120 to the total population should be roughly the same if we got a good random sample of squirrels as the 51 tags we found in our sample of 121. So we don't know the squirrel population. That's what we're interested in. So let's go ahead and define a variable for that. So you can choose your variable. I'll use S for squirrels. S equals number of squirrels in the population or in the area. So in my ratio, my proportion that I set up, so ratio is one of those fractions, ratio of tagged to total squirrels. The proportion is when you take two ratios and you say they should be equal. Sorry for my pause. My computer is asking me questions. It's confusing me. Okay, so this is great. This actually isn't linear. There's a variable in the denominator right now. But for something nice like this, for a proportion where it's just a fraction equal to a fraction, it is always legal to just flip those upside down. We'll have to be careful later on, but for proportions, it's totally okay to say this. And then we're solving an equation, which you'll have a chunk of review on shortly. So we're trying to solve for S. The only thing that's being done to S is dividing by 120. So if we want to get S by itself, we need to multiply both sides of our equation by 120. And what we get is that the total number of squirrels in the population, and we'll keep this approximately in here actually, because it really is very approximate in more than one way, is 120 times 120 over 51, and you can rewrite the order or not. which is approximately, hold on, let me type this into my calculator really quick. I thought I had it actually. Okay, so 120 times 120 divided by 51. 120, that is not what that says. One more time, 120 by 120 divided by 51. There we go. Is about 282.35. So there's my approximate answer. Whenever you're done solving a word problem, go back and think about what you were being asked and try and give the most useful, reasonable answer you can. So what we were trying to figure out here is how many squirrels are in the area. What's the total population? So I don't think that the 0.35 is very useful information. I would say that the squirrel population is 282. So I'm going to say 282, about 282 squirrels are in the area. Okay, so we didn't use a graph here, which a lot of our review is on graphing, but this is another really nice type of application. Proportion, ratio, and proportion make some really nice, fairly simple equations. All right, thanks for watching.